Good morning, Miss Smith. How old are you, ma'am?
17.
Are you here with anyone today?
Yes, sir.
Who?
My mother.
Go get her, please. Good morning, Mom.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming. So Miss Smith is charged with evading arrest or detention. She's facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. I don't know what happened in the case. We're going to do probable cause so we know, whether there's enough evidence to go forward. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am. Okay.
On November 3rd, 2024, officers received a flock hit in regard to a stolen vehicle in the area of North Eldridge while on active patrol. The officers serviced the area and located the motor vehicle. The vehicle was observed to be occupied by 3 subjects, one of whom was the defendant, who was observed to be in the front passenger seat.
Is this deja vu?
And the officer followed the motor vehicle and confirmed the occupied vehicle to be stolen. The officer activated his emergency equipment in an effort to initiate a traffic stop, but the officer observed it to take off and refused to stop. The officer observed the vehicle reach speeds of 66 miles per hour, disregard all signals to stop, and run a red light. When the vehicle eventually stopped, the defendants got out of the vehicle and evaded on foot for approximately 1,000 feet.
It's like I'm hearing double. Did you hear everything that I just said to this young man that was just here?
Yes.
Same thing applies to you. What are you doing with yourself these days, ma'am?
Going to school.
Where?
She's doing good too. Cyclops High School.
She's here with me now. She's got a,
She's getting ready to graduate. She's doing good. She makes good grades. She got some plans after school. She loves to work. She was just, I don't think she was really
let's
knowledgeable.
not talk about the case.
Okay.
If I test you for drugs and alcohol right now, what are you going to test positive for? Exactly. I'm sending you for a test. It stops today. And if I find that you start acting up, if you don't stay in school, if you start hanging around with these people again, I've got one place for you. Do you understand this, Smith?
Yes.
The goal is to make you leave here better than you came in. And I'm going to do everything in my power. And if I see that you start acting a fool in the free world, I will take the free world away. And I don't care if you're kicking and screaming and praying to Jesus, Allah, I don't care. You start acting a fool, there's only one thing that's going to happen. I'm not asking much. The only thing I'm asking you to do is stay clean, graduate, and make something of yourself. Life is hard enough for you as it is. Who you are difficult. You now are here with us as a first. Don't make it a career. It's not a good one. Life is about money. And you, as a young Black woman, should never, ever have to rely on anyone else for money or for anything, because no one is going to give anything to you. If you want something in life, you got to go get it. And you need this and you need this. And it starts now at 17. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Same thing with you. I will give you guys a lawyer today. I'm sending you for a drug and alcohol test, and I'm putting a curfew. Nothing good happens in the middle of the night, and you're not allowed to. I want you to stay in school, graduate, and you're not allowed to hang out with the people in this case, the other co-defendants. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you ever have any issues, just let me know,
Okay.
and we'll try to help you as much, and we'll try to take it no money as well.
Okay.
And I'll give you my card. If you ever need anything, just let us know, and we'll help you take care of everything as we
I
can.
really appreciate you.
For sure. Do you mind giving this to me, please? Okay, so for now, I'm sending you for a test. You were to come back. If you fail the test, if you don't come back, your bond goes bye-bye. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Vic, please.
Right this way.
You too, what's up?
Approaching on first, young Miss Smith, who you sent to go get drug tested. She came back
Results back?
positive for some
Come up, Miss
marijuana.
Smith. Man, come out, Mom. Okay, so
Yeah, because he also has an occupational license that we're also getting the interlocutor unit from the DWI. She's not created and we gotta put in the judge's keys. and then withdraw the occupation.
Felicia,
Yes, Judge.
what did she test positive for?
THC.
No more. You'll be tested 40 to 43 days from today. If you stop smoking as of today, then you shouldn't test positive again. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
What happens if you test positive again? What happens if you pick up a new case? What happens if you continue to speak with the co-defendants in this case? You know what's expected of you.
Yes, sir.
All we want you to do is be the best person you can be, graduate from high school, and go on to greater things. It's not much, but your life as you grow older gets more difficult. It doesn't get easier. You get older, you may lose hair, you may get bigger. We don't get more beautiful as we age on. Life becomes more difficult. And if you don't make a name for yourself now, then it's all the more difficult. And let me tell you, life without money really, really sucks. It's really hard if you have no money. And most of the people here that get divorced, because they fight about one thing, this. One more thing is that you, as a young Black woman, should never have to depend on a man, because when you do, if that person leaves you, it's not going to go well. You need to be able to fend for yourself. And the way it starts is with an education, because no one can take that away from you. When you become like a doctor, a lawyer, you're always in demand, a nurse. No one can take that away from you. And you can always make good money, and you never have to depend on someone else. That's what your life should be. Never depend on anyone else but yourself. And it starts with an education. And that's what we're going to do with you now. You understand? So I expect you to stay in school, and we're going to check on you repeatedly. So the next time you come here, we're going to drug test you, and I want to know that you're still in school. Is there anything that you need from us?
No, sir. This is enough.
I hope. Who are the co-defendants in this case? Do you have cause numbers so we know?
Your Honor, there's no connected cases for co-defendants.
So we have a UUMV in this case, don't we? The same set of facts? I mean, we don't know who the,
I don't know why. It appears as though no one else was charged besides this.
we have a UUMV. Michael, I don't understand intake, dude. You got to help me understand this, because I mean, who? Or perhaps we're just not seeing it, you know?
Judge, it was just charged as an evade.
Yeah, but she's in a car. It's a stolen car. There's someone else that's driving it. There's another defendant as well in there.
I think it's because the driver was on the spot.
Really? You know, at the end of the day, if they didn't catch the other people, regardless, when you hang with dogs, you get fleas. Don't. Those bad people, they'll bring you down with them, and they don't care. Make something yourself. We're giving you the tools now.
It's the other one is a juvenile, so they may have.
Okay.
Or that might be why.
Okay, all right. Are there any brothers and sisters around as well?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm putting a monitor on you so I know where you are and that you're not out in the middle of the night. Do you understand? I'm
Yes,
giving you a
sir.
curfew. We'll have a monitor on you. If you don't charge it, it goes dead. Don't blame it on me. All right? Okay, John D. Thanks. All right, thank you.
Just like did you want that to be an and device, or would you like to choose?
GPS, so we know where she is. She's not out in the middle of the night. Waive the fee today.
guilty to count 1, menacing by stalking, a felony of the 4th degree, in violation of Revised Code Section 2903.211A1. Count 2, menacing by stalking, a felony of the 4th degree, in violation of Revised Code Section 2903.211A1. Count 5, violating a protection order, a felony of the 5th degree, in violation of Revised Code Section 2919.27A2. Count 7, violating a protection order, a felony of the 5th degree, in violation of Revised Code Section 2919.27A2. And Count 8, criminal damaging a misdemeanor of the 1st degree, in violation of Revised Code Section 2909.06A1. The court ordered a pre-sentence investigation and report and a victim impact statement. The state has had the opportunity to review those reports and is prepared to proceed with sentencing. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Reardon?
Your Honor, I have also reviewed the pre-sentence report and the psychological assessment. I agree that Mr. Union has been inpatient, or if I can call it that. He's been a resident at the Alpha House and treating at the Genesis Center. There's a representative here, Shannon Storm, who is here to offer an update and tell you what has been going on since August the 28th, in addition to what was in the reports. My understanding is that the state and defense are making a joint recommendation to you of community control sanctions. It is my recommendation to you, based on what I read and based on Mr. Union's criminal history and what is significant and relevant here, that the court order community control and order Mr. Union to comply with the recommendations of the assessors, including follow-up treatment and recommendations as indicated. I know that the alleged victim is here and will be making a statement, and it's my understanding.
Well, no longer alleged, right?
Well,
Yes.
correct. My understanding that she will also stand up and say to you that she would like Mr. Union to receive treatment versus incarceration. And I believe, given his history, which is all related to abuse of substances and to his relationship with Lauren, which has been on and off and which is currently on and going very, very well. They do have a young child together that they need to work together to raise properly. And I believe so long as Mr. Union continues to do the things he has been doing, that has a chance. I understand that whatever conditions the court may put upon him, if the court goes along with that recommendation, will be stringent and will also potentially include jail, prison time hanging over his head, that if he doesn't comply with those provisions, then he will suffer those consequences. But I believe he's here before you today to comply. That is his intention, and I believe that the others here will tell you that he's been on a good path to do that, and hopefully the court will agree and give him that chance to do so, Your Honor. Thank you.
Who do you want to speak?
I have Shannon Storm from Alpha House?
Genesis.
Center, okay.
All right, what do you want me to know?
Well, I'll let you know that Brad has completed his IOP. We had sat and made appointments with Signature Health for him to continue IOP outside of the program, and also mental health counseling. But he has participated in every group that he's been asked for. He's 54 days in. Every drug test that he's taken, we do once monthly. I just brought his recent test with us, gave it to his attorney. His tests have come back negative, and he's done really well on getting himself together.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Union, what do you want to tell me? No, Mr. Union.
Okay. It's been a long road since all this has happened, and I would just like to assure the courts that none of this will happen again. I've been working a lot, trying to get my mind right, and I just look forward to starting new and getting my life together once I am able to leave.
Well, why did all this happen?
What do you mean all this?
Well, I think where there's one incident where you barged into her work and started screaming at her.
Oh, that was just in the parking lot of her car. That was just me just looking to answers for our breakup, honestly. We were together and then all of a sudden we weren't, so that was just me looking for some kind of closure.
Well, during the incident, Union showed up at Simpson's lunch break, ripped the door open and started yelling at her, demanding for his son back. February 13th. So that kind of indicates to me you went into the place of work, found where she was.
There was the door of her car.
No?
It was just in the parking lot.
It was the door of her car.
Bad report then. What was the GPS tracker doing on her vehicle?
We had a lot of episodes where we were together and she was leaving all the time, disappearing, drinking alcohol with sometimes our son as well, and just me looking for a way to locate her because
So
she
you
would
put
go
the
on.
GPS tracker on her car?
Excuse me?
So you put the GPS tracker on her car,
Yes.
okay? Why did you tell Miss Crook that you didn't put the GPS tracker on her
Who was
car?
Miss Crook?
Miss Crook is the probation officer.
There must have been a miscommunication and I apologize.
What did he tell you, Jamie?
He told me that it was a rental car and that's why there was a GPS on it, because it was a rental car.
Well, it was in fact.
He denied putting the GPS tracker on.
Why did you tell her that?
I do not know. If I did miscommunicate that, then I apologize.
That's not a miscommunication, that's a lie, right?
Okay.
Right? So why did you lie to her? Why are you telling me
Because from the
that?
outside, it looks worse than I think it was. However, I do know that it was a mistake doing such things, that's not appropriate to track someone
So-
involuntarily.
So you're here talking to me, so if you're lying to her in the preparation of this report, why am I to believe anything you say? Because you're worried about the appearance of it, so why should I believe
No,
what
I mean,
you're?
I'm not
Because
worried.
now, are you putting on a show for me?
I'm not.
Okay, so why should I believe you when you're lying to her a couple weeks ago?
Because I feel like I am a man of integrity.
Then why are you lying? If you're a man of integrity.
Could be nervous, could be scared.
I know.
I get it.
I just didn't want to look like I was a crazy stalker in the eyes. Of course, that's not what I am.
Well-
Even though these charges imply that I am, but
Well, putting a GPS tracker on who you say is your girlfriend's car kind of makes you look like that,
yes,
doesn't
I
it?
understand.
Okay.
Yes, I understand.
And so you didn't want me to think that, so you lied to her.
I didn't realize that you would be reading exactly every word that I wrote. It wasn't about
What does it matter if I was going to read it or not read it? You're trying to curtail your story to your audience then, right? That's what you're telling me.
Not exactly.
No. Okay, so the next day, February 14th, Valentine's Day, you're over at Luke Eddy's house and you shattered the glass on the back deck, the table. Why did you do that?
To be honest, that was an accident. I meant to throw a rock at the roof of the house just to let them know that I was aware, or make them aware that I knew that she was there. It was an
Why?
accident. It was an accident hitting a table. I did not mean to inflict any damage to anyone's property.
Why were you throwing a rock at the roof to let them know you were there?
Because I was hurt at the time. Because two days prior, we were together, and then I found out via text message via her that she had a new boyfriend. So I was in a lot of pain. I was hurt, and I was alone. She had my son at some new guy's house that I didn't even know about.
So it's okay then what you did?
It's not okay.
Okay. It's extreme is what it is, right? Or not, is it not extreme?
Yes, it was extreme. The GPS was also extreme.
And yet you told Ms. Crook that you didn't break the table. All you did was walk up and ask, "Are you okay?" and then left. That's what you told Ms. Crook.
That, I was there earlier when the Rockins and I was at home, and I spoke to Lauren, and she said that she was in distress, so I went there to check on her.
And broke the table.
That was an earlier instance, maybe 2 or 3 hours earlier.
So you went to Eddie's house twice?
Yes.
Okay. But you told Ms. Crook you didn't break the table. Right?
Yes.
Okay. There was an attempted violation of a protection order, a misdemeanor, in October of 22. What was that all about?
October of 22.
October 14th of 22.
Are you saying the first protection order violation?
That's what I'm saying.
That was an instance where I found out that Lauren was at a bar and she had my son in the car with another random gentleman. So I walked inside the bar to confront her about why my son was in the car.
Even though there was a
guy.
protection order against you?
Yes.
Okay. How long had that protection order been in place?
Not very long.
Okay.
That I can recall.
Okay, and then 11 days later, there's a violation of a protection order in Willoughby Court. What was that one all about?
I'm not sure if that was the one we were just speaking to.
No, it's two different ones. One's in Mentor, this one's in Willoughby.
The Willoughby one is the one I was talking about because I know that took place in Willoughby.
What about the Mentor one?
What happened in the Mentor one? I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Well, I'm referring to the conviction you have for attempted violation of protection order. The incident that happened October 14th of 22.
It was an attempt?
That's right.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Who was it domestic violence against in May of 23?
May. That was okay. Is that what you're referring to?
No, this is a different one.
The domestic violence was, I was dropping my son off to her apartment. I had to get to work. She didn't answer the door, so I had to open up her window of her apartment to let my son in so I can get to work. And then as I was leaving, I noticed that his juice cup was in my car still. So I was a little bit angry, and I wanted to make sure his juice, and I threw it through the window without even looking inside, and it accidentally hit her on the ear, like right here. So that's what that domestic violence was.
Now, why in the world would I believe that?
Because that is what happened.
So you seem to have like a run of bad luck. After breaking into her apartment, throwing the sipper cup through the window, happens to hit her in the ear. Then you're throwing a rock at a roof and it happens to break the table. That's just a run of bad luck.
That's probably more a run of bad decisions.
What is your mental health diagnosis?
I'm not sure.
Were you ever evaluated?
Yes. I haven't gotten any results though personally.
When were you evaluated?
I believe I did an evaluation when I came to the Genesis Center. I did an assessment. I know I had one at Signature Health maybe a few years ago when we had those domestic violence charges. I believe I had to do an assessment, or that happened, and then I was on probation for that stuff that happened in Willoughby.
Okay, but you don't believe you have any mental health problems, right?
I don't know if I agree with that statement.
Well, you told the psychological evaluator that you deny any history of mental health treatment and do not have any mental health concerns at this time.
No, at that time, not.
Mr. Union stated, "I don't need any mental health treatment. I just want to be able to return home and get on with my life and fix my relationship with my girlfriend and be there for our son."
I would probably say that we probably need counseling therapy for couples.
What?
Couples therapy.
Okay, but you don't need any mental health treatment because you don't have any problems. I don't know what world you're living in because this stuff has been going on for 2 years. bizarre stuff been going on for 2 years, and you don't have any mental health problems? What drug problems do you have?
Currently, no drug problems.
What
Thank the
drug
Lord.
problems have you had?
I was using Klonopin, not as a drug habit. However,
As
it
what?
was a once every few months kind of thing.
For what?
Just anxiety.
Where'd you get that?
Lawrence prescribed it.
You're taking somebody else's meds?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else that you use that you shouldn't have been using?
No.
What about marijuana?
Yes, I have smoked weed from time to time.
Benzodiazepines?
That's Klonopin.
Okay. What about alcohol?
Do drink occasionally socially, not as it was an alcoholic or anything, not frequently.
You like them to minimize all of your problems. That's what you did when you went through the pre-sentence report interview. It's what you did when you went through the psychological interview. So it seems to me you're a guy that's biding your time here. Tell me what you think I want to hear to get as minimal a sanction as possible. That's how you strike me.
I'm sorry that comes across that way.
Well, it only comes across that way because that's how it is. So what do you think it is you should do if you're put on probation?
I would fully intend on continuing IOP treatment.
Well, I thought you were done with the IOP.
At the Genesis Center, yes, I have cleared there, but I fully intend on continuing that.
Where?
Signature Health was the first place I was going to look to.
Did you start there?
I haven't been able to because I've been at the Genesis Center.
The Genesis Center was for the IOP, right?
Right. It was PHP and IOP.
And the Alpha House is a sober living facility,
Yeah,
right?
when you're at the Alpha House, you go to the Genesis Center 5 days a week.
Right.
For 4 hours.
Okay. So your goal is to get home as soon as possible, right?
That's what I would like to do, but I would like to continue getting some kind of help once I leave the Alpha House, if I do in fact leave.
Okay, help for what?
Just life's problems.
Like what? What do you mean?
Dealing with relationships, Klonopin, alcohol, marijuana. Just trying to be a good citizen and be there to raise my children.
So you're telling me you never had a mental health evaluation, right?
I believe that I did have one when I was at Signature Health. When I was on probation, they made me get an evaluation for probation there.
When was that?
Excuse me?
When was that?
2 years ago, possibly.
Okay. So am I to assume that this nonsense that's been going on is all of a sudden going to stop?
I'm hoping that it will stop, yes. That's my intent, not to do any of this craziness anymore.
Well, I would hope that would be your intention.
Yes, it is.
Okay, but this is your actions are very concerning to me. I mean, one of these incidents, she's taking the trash out and hears footsteps and it's you coming toward her. And then you grab her by the arm. What was that all about?
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Well, I'm referring to the time that she was taking out the garbage, turned around, and you were coming at her. And then eventually caught her and grabbed her arm. So what was that all about?
I don't recall what the instance was, but I'm sure it was just me looking for answers to why we were together a few days prior. Then all of a sudden there was a protection order.
Well, you just don't go up to the drugstore and get a protection order. You got to go through a process to prove certain facts before a protection order gets issued, okay? So you're just kind of like an innocent bystander and she's out to get you for whatever reason, is what you're kind of telling me.
I can't speak on to the reasons the protection orders were filed or the thoughts that she had while filing them.
Now, didn't this have something to do with her breaking up with you or some nonsense like that?
What do you mean by that? It had to do with her using a protection order as a way to break up with me.
Why was she breaking up with you? And if she was breaking up with you, why didn't you respect that decision and stop pestering her?
I was just looking for some closure to why.
Okay,
I
well,
was.
what makes you think you're entitled to that closure?
I guess I was.
If she doesn't want to give it to you, what makes you think you're entitled to it? That's your problem. You think you're entitled to what you want, when you want it, how you want it. That's your problem. If she tells you to blow off today, then that's the end of it, right?
Yes.
But not with you. That's my concern about you. Sit down. Sarana.
Your Honor, it's my understanding that Ms. Simpson would like to make a statement to the court prior to the state making their recommendation.
What do you want to tell me?
I'd just like to comment on how quickly this turned into a dumpster fire. I think he's terrified of the consequences that are coming his way potentially, and
Oh, he should be.
Yes, and I also agree with you that he is downsizing this regarding, like downplaying this, regardless of some of those shaded comments. I'm very proud of him. I am entitled to some help with my child, as he is a father, and he was a loving one, and he has been a great one until he started having some drug and alcohol problems. And we both kind of cyclically had some of those problems together. I am not faultless in this. I did not do some of those extreme things, or any of those extreme things, but I didn't exactly not provoke some of the situation as well. This is the best I've seen him look in years. I have taken my son up to the Alpha House to visit him apprehensively, and I was just seeing him when I came in here, I almost had a mental breakdown because he looks great and he's doing great. And the things I hear from the people he's been around at the Alpha House, I haven't seen this in years. And I do think that he is going to, I know that he is going to do what he's telling you he's going to do. This is scaring him, and he is not good at opening his face and saying intelligent things. It's never been his strong suit. But this is not something that's going to be a repeat, and it's not going to be something that I'm going to cyclically provoke as well. I'm proud of him, and I think he is a man of integrity. He's going to do well in society given the opportunity.
Okay, thank you. Sarana.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just to touch on a couple of things that were spoken about with the defendant here. In addition to the tracker and the showing up at boyfriend's houses and all just taking out the trash, there was a pattern of, in certain days went up to 379 calls in one day, 231 calls in one day, 199 calls
How
in
do you
one day.
physically do that?
130 calls, 155 calls. These are all within January and February, so leading up to these offenses. So I do think that there is a significant mental health component to this. The state did agree as part of the plea to recommend community control sanctions, and the defendant has not violated his bond since he has been in treatment. So the state is going to continue to recommend community control sanctions. However, even the most recent bond violation for the OVI in July involved the defendant at 2 a.m. crashing his vehicle, drunk, looking for Ms. Simpson with their 4-year-old son in the car. I think that shows as recently as July that there is not only an issue with alcohol and substances, but an issue still with this relationship with Ms. Simpson. And so the state is going to ask that you adopt the recommendation of the probation department. I would also specifically ask for mental health treatment outside of just the drug treatment and the IOPs and outside of couples counseling, like actual mental health treatment, because whether or not the defendant wants to state that that's a problem, I think it's clear from the fact that that is something that has contributed to all of this behavior. Thank you.
What were you doing driving around with your son at 2 a.m?
I was worried.
Why were you riding around with your son under the influence at 2 a.m?
I believe there was a test that there was
I
not
wasn't under the influence of alcohol. I blew a .01 at the police department. However, I was under the influence of Klonopin that day. We had an argument.
Okay, so you were under the influence of a drug.
Yeah, yes. It affected me in a way that I wasn't aware it was going to affect me. I had 1 shot of alcohol to go with it, and I've been told that that's a very dangerous combination that I was unaware of at the time. However, we had an argument earlier that day, and I didn't hear from her for 6, 7, 8 hours.
How old are you?
38 years old.
Okay, this having an argument with your girlfriend and getting mad about it, and driving around looking for her, it's probably more appropriate for like a 16-year-old than a 38-year-old.
Yes.
Okay. Are you stuck?
When we get in arguments, usually when she disappears like this, she goes to the bar, and I was worried about her getting intoxicated at a bar.
So what did you do? Check different bars?
Yes, she has a few local bars that she hangs out at.
I'm going to place you on community control for 5 years. You're going to serve 47 days in the jail with credit for 47. You're going to remain at the Alpha House Sober Living Facility for a minimum of a total of 6 months. You're going to continue your aftercare, or if you haven't started the aftercare, you're going to start the aftercare, complete it, and follow all recommendations. You're going to get a mental health evaluation, a new one. You're going to follow all the recommendations. You're going to attend at least 3 AA meetings a week and obtain a sponsor and maintain a sponsor. You're to utilize only 1 doctor and 1 dentist and 1 pharmacy for any prescription medication. If you are prescribed medication, you're to take it only as prescribed. And sign releases for probation to get your records. You're to get a valid driver's license, obtain and maintain full employment, and pay the cost and supervision fees. Anything else, Ms. Crook?
We were recommending no contact with them.
Okay. You understand all the terms?
Did you say I have to stay at the Alpha House for 6 months?
6 months total. I was going to ask, is that 6 months from August 28th or 6 months from now?
Go ahead.
Some of the things that you're ordering over at the Alpha House, he will not be allowed to do because it's so constricted and to where they're not allowed to work.
Okay, well,
They're not allowed to, there's so many different things, but he can continue IOP at the Genesis Center.
Okay.
Staying at the Alpha House.
well, I don't care where he does the IOP or the aftercare, just that he does it. And if you can't work while you're there, then when you get out, you'll work. So I assume he can get a mental health evaluation, right?
Yes, we can send him out to, if he stays with the Genesis Center, I can help him through,
Okay.
venture through all those things, getting his driver's license.
Okay.
Setting him up for the mental health evaluations and stuff. So if you keep him at the Genesis Center, that I can help him with. I can help him with all those things that you listed.
Okay, then that's what you're gonna do. You got any questions?
Did you get the answer to your question? Is it
6 months from August 28th or 6 months from now?
6 months total.
Total. All right, so that's from August 28th.
so I have to remain at the Alpha
At
House
the
for
Alpha
another
House.
4 months?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's clear that you don't want to. It's clear you
I
want to leave
just-
now.
I have a 4-year-old that dearly misses me and that I need him as much as I need him.
So why don't you figure out how to live your life like a 38-year-old, okay? And then you won't have people telling you where you have to live and when you have to live there and how long you have to live there and live a normal life for a 38-year-old. That's the answer. You got problems that you may or may not resolve. And your attitude here today is you want to get the hell out of here with as little as possible, as soon as possible, and aren't really concerned with addressing the problem that you have, the problems that you have. So you're going to fail. None of this means anything. You're going to fail because you don't want to do this stuff. Any other questions? Is that a no?
No.
Okay. Now, if you do not comply with each and every one of these terms, the state will file a motion to terminate your community control. And if I find you violated, I'll terminate it and you'll go to prison for 60 months. 60. 5 years. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then when you get out, you might be on post-release control to the parole authority. And then they'll put conditions on you. They'll tell you what you have to do. And if you don't listen to them, then they could send you right back to prison for up to 9 months each time you violate, up to 1/2 of the 60 months that I give you. And if your violation's a new felony, then in addition to getting prosecuted for that, you could get an additional consecutive prison sentence for the violation. And you'll do either 12 months or the time left under post-release control, whichever is more. As you sit there and shake your head in disbelief that you're having to endure all this stuff.
I've endured a lot, Your Honor.
No, you screwed around a lot, breaking the law a lot, doing things you're not supposed to be doing a lot. You haven't endured shit, okay?
Okay.
Now, if you want, I can just send you to prison. You won't have to be on probation.
Please
You
do not
want
do
that?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything else, Ms. Hronik?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Reardon?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Now, whether I see you again, Mr. Union, is completely up to you. You don't want to see me again? Do what you're supposed to do and live like an adult.
Not to do. And why are you here? So one of two things is evident. Either you don't care about bond conditions, you don't care what judges say, or you have a problem. But, you know, we ordered you not to use. It's a serious case. It's a DWI second offense and you're using.
Your Honor, I don't blame myself, but I know after we left court.
How is it possibly your fault?
Well, Your Honor, Your Honor, it's because typically what I do with my clients, I emphasize to them the bond conditions and I reiterate how important they are to follow them.
I emphasized on her.
Catherine Rodriguez, she's on bond violation, Your Honor.
Come up, Ms. Rodriguez. What is the one thing I ordered you not to do? And why are you here? So one of two things is evident. Either you don't care about bond conditions, you don't care what judges say, or you have a problem. But, you know, we ordered you not to use. It's a serious case. It's a DWI second offense and you're using.
Your Honor, I don't blame myself, but I know after we left court.
How is it possibly your fault?
Well, Your Honor, Your Honor, it's because typically what I do with my clients, I emphasize to them the bond conditions and I reiterate how important they are to follow them.
I emphasized on her ad nauseum when she was here last time.
I sincerely,
Stephen, sorry?
I apologize. I know.
If you kill someone on the side of the road, do you think that apology does anything? If I had one strand of hair for every single person that told me sorry in here, holy moly, I would look like Gene Simmons. But no, bond conditions are in there for a reason, right? And when you fail to live up to them, there's one thing that happens. She goes with you. Come talk with me in back. Alex. What's your last name again?
Rodriguez.
Hello, Judge.
Joaquin,
Yes, sir.
I have your client in front of me.
Okay, Catherine?
I'm now putting a monitor on your ankle so I know that you're not using an anytime at all times. You will now get a scram device on one ankle so I know that you're not using on your other ankle. I'm going to put a GPS monitor and I'm now giving you a curfew. You are not allowed to be out in the middle of the night. Do you understand? And if you ever test positive again, your bond will be so high that it's going to reach the clouds. Do you understand? You will be taking the Dodge Patas everywhere. No more driving as well. Do you understand?
I can't go to work.
I didn't say you couldn't go to work. You're on a very serious second DWI and you're continuing to consume. I want to do everything in my power to protect the public. I don't want you on the street and I don't want you out in the middle of the night. You're continuing to use. It scares me. Do you know every single day someone dies from an alcohol-related collision in this county? Every single day. And I will do everything in my power to prevent it from happening. I'm modifying your conditions now in lieu of taking you into custody. You can sure do it the other way around. You know, Joaquin.
Yes, sir.
We can always reapproach with conditions at a later time. But I want to know that my Houston is protected because that's the only thing that matters to me. Do you understand?
Yes.
There
Yes,
are
sir.
other ways and you need to be able to find it. But I can't trust you in the car if you're continuing to use when we ask you not to use. I will give you a curfew of 10 p.m. to 6 in the morning. You're not allowed to be out past 10 p.m. If you violate curfew, if you consume alcohol again, then I will lock you up and I'm not going to play this game with you again. Do you understand? Okay. All right, just take a seat for me. We'll be back with you here shortly.
So they're currently doing an eval on it and hopefully we can get this matter resolved.
Last name, Mike?
Cardona Barrios. Luis.
I don't see it under Barrios or Cardona.
Would you like a cause number, Your Honor?
Yeah, let me have it.
Yes.
Oh, he's in jail.
Yes, sir. So there is ICE is involved here, and then this court is involved. he originally was given a PR bond on this case, and then ICE took him into custody, so he was not able to come back. But now he is back, and we were wondering if
bench warrant him back? How do we get him back?
I don't know how. I just know that this morning he is here, so he did have a PR bond. I've spoken with the state; they're not opposed to him getting a PR bond as long as that's okay with you. But as the complaining witness now lives out of state, as far as like what I've been told, and I'll let the state discuss the cooperativeness of the complaining witness. But if we could, as a bond condition, even just for everybody feeling good, keep him in Harris and the surrounding
But
counties.
he still has an ICE hold, right?
That if he's back here, the ICE hold might be lifted, and he may be working out the ICE issue.
Showing it's not been lifted.
It has not been lifted.
On our end, it still shows it as well, Your Honor.
Okay, so
Still has, so I mean, I can't.
could we? Because ICE might just be saying, "Hey, figure out Harris County," but could we just on paper put in a PR bond?
He has a prior assault of a family member, right? He just
that is yes.
That it was a felony assault, and now we have an unlawful restraint. I don't know anything about the unlawful restraint.
Right.
So, Stephen, do you mind bringing out Mr. Cardona Barrios, please? Let's do PC because I don't know anything about it, Michael.
Reed Fuller.
Hey, I'll start sending stuff to you.
Oh, we're gonna need it. I don't know.
Oh, do you need a translator?
I think he's been here a while. He's been here most of his life.
He learned English or what?
I assume so. I've been speaking with his brother and a close family friend.
Victoria, did you call a translator? Vic, can you call it for a translator? Joaquin, do you need a translator?
I do not.
No? Okay.
Your Honor does not need an interpreter.
Okay, come on up, guys. Good morning, Mr. Cardona. So you're in front of us now. You've picked up an unlawful restraint. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. Your lawyer is asking me to give you a PR bond. However, there's just so many factors at play. I don't know. I guess let's figure out what happened first.
Yes, Judge. The officer met with the complainant utilizing a Spanish translation computer program in the waiting area of the West Side Family Violence Office. The complainant stated that she has been in a relationship with the defendant for approximately 10 years, and they have 3 children together. The complainant stated they were formally never married, but they lived together. The complainant stated that while she was inside the laundry room of their house, the defendant locked her inside and told her that he would find out who she has been seeing and not to give him a reason to kill her. When the complainant tried to leave the laundry room, the defendant pushed her back from the door, and the defendant kept the complainant in this room for approximately 30 minutes. When the defendant finally moved out of her way, he took her cell phone, turned off the lights in the house, and disconnected the Alexa speaker so that she could not call 911.
So there's enough to go forward with the case. He has a prior felony assault, same complaining witness. Let me see. So the person in this case would be a Miss Garcia.
So listed as different names,
I see it.
but it says that for the felony, like they're married. I-
So you don't know.
I'm not 100% sure if that judge.
The problem is compounding this, it looks like you have an immigration detainer. So my fear is that if we give you, I mean, you have a bond that's set now. It's $2,500. And he's taken off on us once.
No, he never took
Here
off.
they shipped him off to immigration.
Right, he was up in Conroe.
Okay.
That's why it's not that he wanted to come to court, he just was detained by immigration.
I don't know how we got you back.
I've spoken with his immigration attorney, and I know that there were some things working on with the immigration court where, you know, in order for C to happen, A and B needed to happen, but then, you know, with it being immigration, B can't happen without A, and then, you know, then here, A can't happen without B, you know, so it's just, you know, that each way.
We didn't bench warrant him back. We got him
Right.
back somehow, but my
Yeah.
fear is that you still have an immigration detainer. If I give you a bond, it's very possible they take you back to immigration, and we don't want that to happen. We want you to be able to take care of this case first. So you guys, do you have an offer on this case? Do we know where we're going?
I mean, I think that we're very, very close to it. And
short reset to see if you can work something?
I mean, could we just put the PR bond in place and then have them come back in a month?
No.
And then if not,
to do that, because I don't want to lose him. I'm not going to do that.
all right. I mean, worst case scenario, he's just going back to ICE.
I know, and then we lose him for another 3 to 4 months to 6 months. Or what if, even worse, they deport him. And then,
right. Well,
God, then that's a humongous, you won't get back.
I do know that he does have a detention hearing, or like they are working on the ICE bond, the immigration bond, and that he does. I know that there is. I talked to his attorney, his immigration attorney, and there is a hearing in the future. They just don't have the date, but he was granted a hearing. It could be
find out more
with federal. Let me give her a call and see if they have a date yet. So just sit tight. I'm going to call Sarah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Cardona, I want you to understand one thing, that I take public safety extremely serious, and I will do everything in my power to protect the public. I don't care that you're out on an immigration bond. I don't care, but I care about our bond, but you need to understand that you being out on an immigration bond better have a halo above your head, because if not, you pick up a new case, you violate conditions, they will yank that PR bond in a moment's notice and you're out $15,000. All the money that whoever has posted up for you to get out on that immigration bond, you pick up a new case, violate conditions, all that money's gone. And I'm going to tell you now, you were extremely lucky to get an immigration bond, because I can tell you now, not many people do. And you'll never get another one. You won't. Do you understand? So I am now going to put a monitor on you so I know where you are at all times. Prior to your release, you will get a GPS monitor. You are not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case, and not to be in possession of weapons. You're not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I will randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol, illegal drugs, you become a danger to the public, I will yank the bond in a moment's notice. You understand? Make the most of it, because you're lucky to even get out. Do you have any questions? Okay, it is your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. Stoll. He will also tell you when you have to come back to court. If Michael tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, likewise, there goes the bond.
I don't think there's going to be a problem with that. He's got a very, very good support structure in place.
To get a
So
$15,000 bond, I would say, yeah, absolutely.
the other bond condition that we discussed was staying in Harrison, the surrounding counties while out on bond.
No traveling. You got to stay here. We have to know where you are at all times. You cannot just go traveling, no going to Mexico or no going to this or this. No, got to stay here until everything's wrapped up. Okay?
Okay. I have one question.
Shoot.
My ex-wife, she moved out to Atlanta, Georgia with my kids. Sometimes I visit them.
So no leaving until this is taken care of. This has to be resolved here in this court before, and there's
I
also.
understand, that's why.
With the complaining witness as well.
FaceTime. You can always FaceTime with them. You can always use other means to have contact with them. Don't go there.
That's wrong.
Remember, we have a monitor on you. If you go out, we were going to know. You must also charge the device every single day. If the battery goes dead, so does your bond. You understand? Okay. I'm going to leave the bond at 2501.
Thank you. That's fine. That's perfect.
He's already paid enough money as it is.
Thank
So
you, Your
just be good. Don't pick up any new cases and don't have contact and no weapons with the complaining witness. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks.
All right.
Mr. Santillan, do you have a lawyer today?
I did hire an attorney. She's just not here today.
Who is it?
Maria Carrillo. Juana Maria Carrillo. She's supposed to be calling the court. I just spoke to her about 5 minutes ago.
Okay, so just go ahead, take a seat. We'll wait for her, hopefully to show up. I don't know how you operate in the real world, but this is important. I expect you to be honest. You do not have a lawyer.
No, I have text messages. I've been texting the attorney.
You text messaging is just that. It's a text message and it's nothing more. You don't have a lawyer. Don't lie to me again.
No, I do have a lawyer.
Okay, there you go.
She called, not representing you. So you don't have a lawyer. When you have a lawyer, you pay the money. They don't work for free.
I understand.
We will give you more time. And next time you come here, all I'm asking is honesty. Did we not have him T-Rast?
We did, but then there was a competency evaluation, so like it was back and he was found competent to stand trial.
Well, we know that. It's not a matter of competency. We know he's competent. That's not the issue.
That's why they wouldn't release the T-Rast scores until he was found competent. So if we want to do anything different, I'll have to have him reassess.
Yeah. We're no more catch and release. I told you this last time. The idea is that you, when you leave here, you're better off than when you came in. You keep coming back and you come back to us in this state over and over and over. It's not good, Mr. Akers. All you're doing is you're killing yourself slowly. That's not the way to do things. If I let you go now, if history is any indication, we'll see you in about 6 months again. That's history.
I believe I could do better.
Do you?
Yes, sir.
I don't believe it. I mean, I know that you were destined for greatness, but sometimes when you try to write your own plan and you think it works, it kind of backfires on you and it doesn't. So now when you're with me, I have resources to help you out. And that's the idea, so that you don't come back. Because we've tried for you to write your own plan on numerous occasions and it's not worked. And I know it's not what you want to hear. And I know that you just want to get out, but I don't want to set you up for failure. We've done that before and now you're here again. So what I'd like to do is I want to have you evaluated by our clinicians to see how we go forward. Perhaps we have a treatment facility that's there to help you tackle why these issues continue to happen. Why you keep testing positive for meth, amphetamines, and all those other substances.
If I may, this is only my second charge here. The trespassing was dropped, and I did test positive, but I did stop using that day, and planned on stop using. When I tested positive for alcohol, it's because I take communion, and I'm at a
Really?
point.
You take communion at 8 in the morning?
I didn't blow. It was a urination.
You and I have been dancing for 2 years, and you, in all those 2 years, have continued to
I've only been
use.
in Houston a little over a year. I have signed up for the homeless program, and right now I've just come to a year, which is a requirement. I have to get back to the housing people so I can get my voucher to get a place of my own. When I was locked up here, I probably had a lot of things walk off. I don't know if my storage container is the automatic payment went through. I'll get off drugs and just give me a chance to rebuild my life. I've been homeless for over 3 years. I was homeless 2 years before in St. Louis before I come here. I come here and I've been wanting to restart my life. I just need just give me an opportunity not to come back, and you won't see me again.
I've done that twice before, Mr. Akers. You now are in your third case here within a year.
The
So
second one
we've
was
been
dropped.
there, done that.
Requested at the request of the pastor of the church that I was trespassing at.
Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, I'm not gonna do this now. I'd like to have you TRASed. I want to see what they say, how the best way to move forward is. I'll try to do it as quick as possible so that we can try to help you out as quick as possible. We're not just trying to keep you here to languish, but I want to do the right thing. And you taking this deal, just letting you out now, it's not the right way to do things. And I'm sorry to tell you that, but I have John here that if you have a storage unit, if you need anything, we can try to reach out to whoever we can to try to help you out with that. Okay. We have people on site that, and also staff that can help you with these things.
I have Social Security, and I've been here indigent this whole time. They say I have nobody on the outside. I can't get money on my books. I've been eating the scraps off of other people's plates. I've been here for a month. Can you at least reinstate my bond so I could take care of my business?
You don't come back. Okay. Look, let me try to get you TRAS as quick as possible so that we can get this done.
I think I already did TRAS.
Can we still use that other one or no?
That's what I'm asking them.
We're gonna try to use it so we don't have to redo it. Give me a little bit of time and then I'll bring you back out and we'll talk. Okay? All right. Hey, thank you, Mr. D.
Just approaching on a plea office system with the correct FBI number because it has all the other identifiers connected to it, which is why when he was arrested for terroristic threat back in 2020, it didn't flag the fugitive case. So whomever arrested him now looked up enough independent identifiers, HPD, to find out it is the correct person. So it is a right warrant, and I even showed Mr. Monks a picture.
What on earth are you doing talking to someone in the box? Take a seat. You got to go check in, and then someone will come talk to you.
I was worried, and I thought at first you were talking to me.
But that's why it didn't flag in 2020. But it is valid. And unfortunately, to Mr. Monk's dismay, I also showed him a photograph of his initial booking photo in 2000.
He looked like Gene Simmons. He had,
strikingly similar to our defendant here.
We're not going to contest the fact that that is him.
What do you want at the end of the day? You want a bond?
I want a bond. And this case is.
And so.
The case is 24 years old.
So, and I'm using that to my advantage. The fact that this is an FTA, this isn't a 2B warrant. So at some point, he went in front of a judge or a magistrate. They went in front and guaranteed to come back. And in 24 years, he did not come back for the FTA, contempt of court, and the fact that he has a robbery, 2 continuous delinquency, and a theft. And so the fact that he didn't resolve them after signing the conditions, originally going in front of the court, I take that as a strike against, well, not Mr. Monks, but the defendant.
Well, I
hold on. We bring him out.
Absolutely.
Deputy, do you mind bringing someone out, please? What's the last name again? Mike? White.
And Your Honor, I clearly understand Mr. Kim's position. The situation is that we just want to go back and get it resolved. I mean, if you
How do we know he's going to go back? It's been 24 years.
He's been here 4 years. He has 4 kids. His family is here. I've indicated to him, just go back, because do you think they're gonna wanna go forward on a 24-year-old? And what was it, contributing to the delinquency of a minor? And he was 17 at the time this happened.
I would imagine the robbery is gonna take a little bit more of their attention than the
I don't understand how they could never put two and two together. How many priors has he had
Well, so-
since that initial case?
Other than those, I mean, just a terroristic threat. And so that's what I mean is when they have him in the system, or they have him in the system for terroristic threat, they put the incorrect FBI number, which is linking everything else. That's why no one caught it, because they're going off of the system. There are information already in the system. So if you're flagging him with this number, it does look like he doesn't have anything.
But fingerprinting should,
I don't know, but because I was waiting to see if there was anything else from the back end of it, but obviously that was required, him to be fingerprinted here, bring in the experts, and then request from there for a government warrant. That's time that I don't think is necessary, especially when showing the photo to Mr. Monk said it is the same.
I hate it when you have the photo.
so have you reached out to Colorado?
No, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
I'm sorry, is it?
This one?
I have here, it's wanted, it's Malik White, right?
Now you.
No, that's a different, no, sorry.
That would be a different one.
Oh, it's Louis White.
Louis White, he's also AKA Tommy Mitchell, and he also has a number of other AKs. But
He has different stage names.
Yeah.
Hi. Hello, brother.
Morning, Mr. White.
Hello, Your Honor.
How's jail? Shh. How's jail? Good. The worse a jail visit is, the higher likelihood you have of actually considering when the judge tells you to do something that you will actually do it, right? You, my friend, have been on the lam for 24 years.
Sir.
20. I don't think we've ever had someone with that kind of just.
no, this is a record.
I don't want the record. I don't want it, but this was also unusual because they had a misidentification of an FBI number, so it's 2 for 2.
But he's got to know at some point you can't just continue to run that, you know, the long arm of the law is at some point.
Some point, yes.
Itch it, right?
Absolutely. But as I said, Your Honor, he's here, he's got his family here, his son is here, he has 4 kids, and he's working, and I've told him that he must go to Wisconsin, and they're going to hire an attorney up there. I bet you a dime to a dollar.
Why haven't they hired a lawyer already?
I have an attorney.
My question, and
I
to
do
try
have
to
an
figure
attorney.
out.
Well, I mean, Your Honor, I don't know, you remember practicing law.
Sure.
Sometimes they just put their head in the sand.
And I guess at that point, the counsel is to be proactive.
Yes.
Because you know that.
Right.
So Dave, what do you think?
Well, just.
I have a hard time giving someone a bond that's been on the land for 24 years. I'm going to say that now. I really do, Mike. As much as I love you and appreciate you and your tenacity.
Yes, sir, and I'm gonna be tenacious because 24 years, he was here 4 years ago. They took him into custody on the terroristic threat and misdemeanor. And it's done. I mean, and I understand, he's still here. And so I hear what you're saying. I just know that if you're taking care of your kids, if you're living in the same place for a period of time, I think that he's gonna take care of his business. The purpose of bail is to ensure his appearance in court and to secure his appearance up there. If we leave him in jail here, and that's the alternative.
Well, it's not leaving him. It's just we are now going to ensure that Wisconsin gets their man.
No,
Because
we're
if
ensuring that he's available for Wisconsin to get him. We don't know if Wisconsin's gonna come.
Say it again.
They confirmed the warrant flag. They're intending on coming unless they change their mind in the last 24 hours. I mean,
Right.
The DA's office does want it.
Yeah, I mean, everybody says that.
I can't imagine
I
after
can't-
24 years, they're going to say, you know what, just forget it.
Well, I can't imagine prosecuting a delinquency of a child.
Well, one of the cases is a robbery.
Yeah, but we don't know the extent of it. It's not aggravated,
That's
right? We don't
that's
know.
not what we fight here.
No, I understand. I just think he should be entitled to a bond. He's gonna take care of his business. He goes and takes care of it now. You give him 2 weeks.
I promise,
Mike.
Judge.
I'm sorry?
Promise.
Yeah, you promised before
When he was
when you were
18.
17, and then, you know, the thing is Mr. White, don't try to throw other people under the bus. That's not cool. It's all on you. And for you to try to blame it on anyone else is just disingenuous, man. The case, it's 24 years. You've had 365 days for over 24 years. You've had that in the little back of your mind thinking, God, you know, out of sight, out of mind doesn't work with the law.
I've actually hired an attorney prior to this in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He was working on a deal with the district attorney's office there. Okay, I hired him. He's been hired under $5,000. I paid him to contact to work a deal with district attorney's office and told me he was working a deal with them.
What's his name?
Hold on. Is my son here?
Yeah.
He knows, no, he knows his name. I have his number.
It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. The name, just what matters is action. You know, you telling me something is going to go in there, go out that ear, because I know that you've done this before and you've never followed up. I can't in good conscience give you a bond, man. It's 24 years.
My son, I have a 2-year-old son. And he's going to Texas Children's. He has a genetic disorder. I can't leave here because this is life depends on it. He has a rare genetic mutation. His name is Mariano. He has a rare genetic mutation, and his condition is life or death. I've seen the best doctors in the country for him. I came here for him to treat my baby. His name is Mariano. His doctor is, hold on, Gary Clark, neurologist at Texas Children's.
That's ironic. Gary Clark is my running buddy for 30 years. He'll be back in San Diego next week.
And I know Gary Clark.
I understand, and the good thing that you have.
It's just for the baby, sir. I don't care about
And
myself.
thankfully that you have a loving sister and you have a loving son that are willing to help you out so that baby's not getting thrown under the bus. But I'm not going to allow you to sit here and use your baby as a means of trying to get a bond when you've been on the land for 24 years. I'm just not going to do it.
May I please the court?
Sure.
Based on what I see, how the tea leaves look like they're rolling, maybe we come back here in 15 days? Because I don't think he's going to sign. He may sign the waiver.
Oh, he's going to refuse?
Well,
I mean, if so, let us know now so we can get the governor's warrant, because the thing is then there's going to be another 90 days.
No, I understand that.
You
I'd
know?
like to have a short period of time to talk to him about whether he
Sure.
wants to waive.
Of course, he hasn't waived yet.
No, he's refused.
Okay,
can
you
we
got to
carry-
understand that.
Can we carry him till tomorrow? Okay.
I mean, there's no, but
I mean, I know, I can tell the family now, the judge is not going to set the bond. You have two options.
I love you, Mike. I really do. But 24 years, that's unreasonable.
It's pretty impressive.
For me to be able to just,
No, I got it. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
It's a pleasure. Brother, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. All right.
There is Brittany Michelle Bell. Brittany. Michelle Bell.
I'm here.
All right, Ms. Bell, you're charged with theft by shoplifting. You do not have an attorney representing you. Do you wish to have an attorney appointed to you, or do you wish to represent yourself?
I should have an attorney. The first time when I was in court, the judge gave me a card and I reached out to a court-appointed attorney, so should have been one. This was a long time ago, so I don't know if the person still worked there. I don't really know.
Okay, did you come to court in Clayton County or one of the city courts?
I went to court in Clayton County. It was me and another person.
Yeah, I don't know about a card that we would have given you, but Lester Holton Dennis, do you have any record of Miss Brittany Bell being before you? or attached to you?
Judge, it doesn't appear that way from the calendar. I would have to log on to our kind of internal system to know for sure. But we certainly can fill out the appointment order for today.
All right, yeah, I'll appoint, but I'm afraid that we're gonna have a conflict because I see a Kimberly Bell, who also doesn't have an attorney. So one of them might have to have a conflict attorney. All right, Ms. Bell, I need to see you also. I can't just talk to your picture. All right, so Ms. Kimberly Bell.
Here.
All right, so Ms. Kimberly Bell, you're before the court for theft by shoplifting. Is your case related to Ms. Brittany Bell? Do y'all know each other?
No.
Oh, okay, then we might still be able to appoint. If you wish to have an attorney, did you wish to have one appointed for you, or are you gonna hire one? Ms. Kimberly Bell?
Oh, no, I don't have an attorney.
Did you wish to have one?
Oh, no, thank you.
Okay, are you over the age of 21?
Yes.
All right. All right, so Ms. Bell, Brittany Bell is going to be appointed an attorney. Ms. Kimberly Bell is wishing to speak with the state. Please tell me, Ms. Hagler, what the recommendation is for Ms. Kimberly Bell's case.
Yes, Your Honor. The recommendation is 12 months probation, a fine of $200, service, the theft prevention course, to not return back to that Walmart, and the state is not accepting any NOLO pleas.
It's the Riverdale Walmart, isn't it?
Let me confirm, Your Honor. No, ma'am, it's a different Walmart.
That's amazing. All right, so
can I say something?
I don't know, Ms. Bell, because the whole point of having an attorney is that you don't say something that might jeopardize your defense. Now, you were serving as your own attorney, so if you want to say something, that's up to you. But please realize anything you say could be used against you.
Okay. About when I was at the store, I guess that would be having an attorney if I tell you what happened.
Yeah, because you can't tell me what happened unless we're in a trial setting.
Okay, gotcha.
Or a plea setting, because I got to be able to hear both sides.
Okay.
And I can't just, well, Judge, let me just, I'm guilty with an explanation. Everybody loves that, but it's not how the judicial system works. If I hear your side, I got to hear the other side.
Okay.
All right. So did you wish to enter it? Because the state does not wish to accept a NOLO plea, and I'm not inclined to either, without some extraordinary situation. So did you wish to enter a plea, or did you wish to go to trial?
A plea, not trial.
Okay. All right. So you heard what the sentence would be: 12 months probation, a fine in the amount of $200. The $200 fine with the surcharges is going to be a total of $298. 40 hours of community service, a theft prevention course, and you're not to go back to any Walmart in Clayton County for the remainder of your sentence.
Okay.
All right. Raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes.
All right. You can put your hand down. So Ms. Kimberly Bell, you're before the court on case 2021 CR 08381 for theft by shoplifting. You're entering a plea of guilty. By doing so, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, ma'am?
Yes.
Factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor. On or about June 29th of 2021, Officer Paul Amos was dispatched to 2940 Anvil, A-N-V as in Victor I-L, Block Road, Ellenwood, Georgia, 30294, Clayton County. Upon his arrival, he met with the Walmart loss prevention, Miss Brittany Wilkerson. Ms. Wilkerson stated that she witnessed the defendant through surveillance video placing a red hair care product box in her bag and proceeded past all points of payments and sales. Ms. Wilkinson stated that she stopped the defendant and brought her into the security room and noticed the red hair care product box in the defendant's bag. Ms. Wilkinson stated that at that time she notified police and waited until their arrival. Ms. Wilkinson stated that the defendant could no longer come back to that store because the defendant had more than one shoplifting at another Walmart. At that time, the defendant was placed under arrest. Your Honor, at this time, the state's offer is 12 months probation, a fine of $200, 40 hours of community service. The defendant is to complete the theft prevention course and to not return back to any Walmart in Clayton County. Thank you.
So Ms. Bell, the sentence is 12 months probation, a fine in the amount of $200, $298 with the surcharges, 40 hours of community service, a theft prevention course, and you're not to go back to any Walmart in Clayton County. And Ms. Bell, I'm gonna just tell you, I'm safer at a Walmart based on like the number of cameras that they have. If something happens to me, it's gonna be on a camera somewhere in Walmart or the parking lot. So when folk go to Walmart thinking that they're getting away with something, and they're stealing, and especially hair care products, come on, man. You're gonna risk your future for a hair care, for a perm? Come on now. I mean, that's just ridiculous. So I'm gonna tell you that even when they don't catch you, they see you. Got me? You're not getting over on anybody. We need to stop with that mentality, that get over mentality. I'm gonna get something for nothing, because nothing in life is free. You either gotta work for it or pay for it. We clear?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Ms. James. Ms. James is going to instruct you about probation. She's going to answer any questions that you might have about your particular situation and how to successfully complete probation. Understand that the quickest way to get rearrested is to fail to go to your probation reports. If you don't do that, then it is likely that you will, I will be signing an arrest warrant for you. Okay?
Okay.
All right, go into the breakout room with Ms. James. You don't have to come back here after.
Okay.